everyone, so welcome to today's video. This one is really special because I am doing a first impressions on one of the newest releases from Lisa Eldridge. Yes, she came out with eyeshadow palettes and I bought the Vega one and I am super excited to share with you guys my thoughts, share with you the look that I created today, which is very smoky, and I just love everything about it. These textures and these colors are incredible. It's $68 for 6 eyeshadows and you get it housed in this beautiful compact that honestly looks like a work of art. It's a beautiful shade of gold, which I can appreciate that it's not a cheesy looking gold, it's not a fake looking gold. It actually looks like a piece of art and I absolutely love it. I have my son who's 2 months old in my lap, so if you hear any sounds, it's coming from him. Maybe able to see him just the top of his head barely, but I wanted to do this video today because I could not wait to get into this palette, to try it. I have been anticipating this arriving and I've had it for several days now, and I keep looking at it in my bathroom and I'm like, I need to use you, I need to do this on camera because this was just really special. I discovered Lisa many years ago on YouTube. She was one of the very first professional makeup artists that I found through searching through beauty videos and watching content on YouTube, and I've been watching her videos on and off for years. I absolutely love the way her looks are in her videos, the way she uses makeup to create art, and I can listen to her talk all day long with her accent. I just enjoy her videos and I find that I do pick up some useful tips, and I just like looking at videos from professionals that actually do makeup on celebrities, photo shoots, the front cover of magazines. Like, that's huge, and that's Lisa. She does that type of work and I could not wait to try this. When I saw her video announcing these coming out in November, I knew I had to try it and see what it was gonna be like, because in my mind I was like, this is gonna be great, and it kind of is. So today we're gonna do a look with this smoky. It's easy, it's not difficult to follow along. If you have this palette yourself or similar shades in your collection, you can create something very similar to this. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this look, and I hope you will enjoy it. This one definitely called my attention. There's some browns in here that are very everyday. Then you have some colors for the lids. You have this really deep dark black shade that could be used to create a very smoky look. It could be used for eyeliner to add some depth to the lower lash line. You could mix this black in with some of these other browns to deepen them. You have this one here that's like a charcoal gray that almost has a bit of a bluish undertone. It's a really nice deep gray color, which I thought was really nice because then I could take these two shades, which are shimmery, and have that different texture and finish. I can make it a little bit more on the cooler with this color in the crease. So it offers a lot of versatility. All the palettes look absolutely beautiful, but I chose one to start and one that I felt like I could get the most use out of. The great thing about this is that you can actually customize this palette, so I could purchase individual colors and then change these out. You can't get the outside gold palette just yet empty to then start refilling and doing your own total customization. Maybe sometime in the future it might happen, but right now they're all going to be with the 6 pans depending on which one you choose. So on the back you will see that the names are listed there, and then also the finishes. So this is going to include velvet finish, the seamless mattes, the luminous, and the metallic. So I'm getting quite a bit of the different texture options within this palette. There are different textures in the other ones. They're not all going to have the same exact like this one. One will have like a top coat with some velvet and a matte color in there, then a metallic. They're going to be different, but this one offered the finishes that I was most interested in trying. I'm going to start with the color called French Gray, and that's this light one here, and it is a velvet. Right away I can see how creamy this color is because I can see the marks left behind from my brush, so it's not flat and matte. I don't even know if my camera's going to pick that up. Probably not. But I'm going to use a Zoeva brush. This is the 228 Luxe Crease Brush. And there's really hardly any kick up and fallout in this pan after I've put my brush in there, so that's also another bonus. So all I have on my lids is a little bit of concealer, and I'm going to just make sure that that's all kind of blended because it is starting to crease just a little bit. Taking that French gray right in the crease. Okay, so that went on easier than I expected, and I could have done that with my eyes closed. And maybe that's the reason why these palettes are $68, because the texture, blendability, the pigment, the finish is next level. And that was incredibly easy to apply. So super happy with that. And so far, after trying this velvet shade, it's very beginner friendly. So I am picking up the very subtle, cool undertones of that color. It's called French gray, so gray is naturally going to be on the cooler side. It doesn't look like that in the pan. It looks like a typical light transition type of shade, but once you apply it, you can actually really pick up the cool undertones that it has, and it's actually really easy to apply. It looks pretty, and it builds quite nicely. Now, the only thing that's not in this palette is something that is more close to my skin tone that I would use to blend my edges or my brow bone, inner corner highlight, or just to kind of clean up, because sometimes I can get messy. So that's the only thing that's missing. Is it absolutely necessary? So far from applying this, I'm going to say no. I can skip that step, but I can also bring that in from another palette or as a single shadow from a different brand, or even see if the Lisa Eldridge brand has something close to my skin tone that is more on the velvet finish side, so that I can use it to kind of clean up my edges and just sort of perfect my crease area. Okay, so I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm going to go down to the next color below that, and that one is called Turbulence. And that one is also a matte color. This is called the Seamless Matte formula. So it's several shades deeper. And again, barely any kick up once I put my brush in. Then I'm using the same brush from the first color. And this is going to go right on the outer part of my eye. Wow. Okay, I see you, Lisa. Wow, that is easy to blend. And all I'm doing is just adding a little bit more, kind of going back and forth, looking at both sides to make sure it's even, and adding a little bit more where I want a little bit more depth. Then I'm going to take a clean brush, and I'm going to go around the edges and just kind of soften that. I could have started with that darker brown and then used the French gray on top, which I'm taking a little bit on this clean brush. And I could have used that to kind of clean my edges. So I could have done it a little bit differently, but nonetheless, it still works, and it's great. With a more precise brush, I'm taking that same dark brown and going on my lower lash line. And here are the colors that are with the shimmer finish, metallic, and the luminous finish. The texture of this is unreal. It's like butter. That's the best way to describe it. That shade feels, it's amazing. So I'm going to take Moon Swirl, which is the one that feels like butter, and I'm going to use that on the majority of my lid. Wow. Gorge. I'm going to take Supernova, which is a luminous finish, and use that in the inner corner. So the Supernova shade added a bit of like a sparkly touch to the inner corner, which I think is really pretty. You could even take some of it and apply it to the inner corner in the upper lid and kind of blend that right into the Moon Swirl. And it's so pretty. You could layer them together as well. But I kind of like that inner corner and inner lid sparkle. So I've got 2 shades left to use in this palette. I'm going to start with the black, which is called Lamp Black, and that's a seamless matte. I'm going to use that to create some smokiness really close to my lash line. I'm using an angled brush for that. So I did get some fallout here on my cheeks with the black eyeshadow, and I did get a little bit inside of my eye. I think it just kind of fell off of my brush. It's not a big deal because I can clean this up, or maybe next time I will do my concealer last if I'm going to use the black. But that is a very rich, dark black. Like, what? Look at that. That's insane. Oh my. Let me show you the one that has that kind of dark gray. And then Smoke and Mirrors is here. Wow. So creamy and so pigmented. Then I'm going to take a small detail brush and that Smoke and Mirrors, which is the gray, and I'm going to use that on my lower lash line as well, just to kind of incorporate all the colors as best as I can to create a nice kind of wearable, everyday look with a little bit of a smokiness to it. Before I clean up the fallout and add some mascara and tight line, I'm going to add a little bit more of these brown shades that I used initially. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and forth between this one and the darker one and just add a little bit more into my crease now that I have my lid shade on. Just want to add a little bit more that kind of smoky color around what I have on my lid, and it looks so pretty. And you can definitely get a more intense look on your lid if you actually use your finger to apply that Moon Swirl shade. That would be beautiful, and it would definitely take it up a notch from what you see here on my lids. Okay, so I cleaned up as best as I could. That black is very rich, so my suggestion would be to do your eyeshadow first and then concealer and foundation, just because doing it the opposite way, complexion first, then the eyes with this black, it's a little bit tricky. I did use some of my Huda Beauty concealer, and I was able to clean up the majority of it, and I feel like it looks pretty decent. I can't tell that there's like a dark cast or anything underneath, so I try to clean it up as best as I could. So I finished the look off with a little bit of the mascara from Lancome, the Lash Idole mascara, and I tightlined with a black eyeliner pencil. For lips, kept it super simple, Lancome Natural Mauve lip liner and a little bit of Ulta Beauty lip oil mixed with the lipstick from Laura Geller in the shade Berry Vanilla. So that gives me a very soft, natural, your lips but better kind of look, just keeping it super simple and soft to go with this kind of smoky look. So I'm really thrilled with the way the look came out. I love the finishes, the textures, swatching these, the creaminess, ease of use, everything about it is a yes for me. It's a 10 out of 10. I really love this color story. I like the options for something soft and easy, or something smoky, something kind of in between that, and I feel like it gives me a lot of versatility, which I'm pretty sure that's the reason why she chose these shades to go together to create this Vega palette, because of the versatility and the options that you have. Even with all the other palettes, there's a purple one, there's one that's more pink and brown romantic tones, there's a warm tone one, there's one with blues and greens that is the Sorcery palette, and they all look beautiful, and I had a hard time kind of just picking only one and sticking to that and not adding more to my cart, but I'm glad I went with this one first. So everything about it is just great. The compact, the way it looks very luxurious, like a piece of art. It's beautiful. It's just very thin and slimline. It's not excessive packaging. It's not bulky. Fits in my makeup collection, a small makeup bag for travel. It's just a great size, and I absolutely love this tone of gold. It's not a cheesy gold. It's not a fake looking gold. It's actually very luxurious. Even my 2-month-old agrees. He's over here next to me when I do my videos, and he's starting to do the cooing and all the cutesy little sounds. So if that's what you hear, that's him next to me. But I love it. I will be using this again. I will be wearing it tomorrow. I'm going to do some different variations, and you may see this again in another tutorial. I may use this for Christmas morning and do my makeup with this because it feels so special and luxurious. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. Check out the description box. Everything that I use for my entire look will be listed for you down below. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future and join my family here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram. I always have it on the screen and we can chat there, be friends, and I hope to see you there. Take care, and I'll talk to you very soon.